Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the channel. My name is Steven, sitting here in my 2018 Tesla Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive. This is one of the first 26,000 cars to be built. Was manufactured on in the fifth month of 2018. Today we're going to do a battery degradation test, non-scientific. So just charging up here at home, it says 100%, but it's still putting in 3 kilowatts right now. So this car is coming up on warranty for battery and powertrain. The bumper-to-bumper warranty is gone. So as you can see, I'm at 134,000 kilometers. I'll put the miles down in the bottom here for people that use miles, Americans, etc. Autopilot 2.5, enhanced autopilot, premium connectivity. Software was updated just the other night, so we're at 2022.24.8. Original rated range of this car, according to Tesla, was 310 miles or 498 kilometers. I don't know if I've ever gotten that or not. Haven't really paid that much attention. There's so much charging where I go that I don't have a problem with range. So right now at almost 100%, it's rating me at 457 kilometers. So we're going to do a range test up and down the highway. It is Sunday and I live near cottage country, so could get into cottage country traffic, which might make the range test a little null and void if I get slowed down. But as far as kilowatt hours in the battery pack, I didn't do this test when the car was brand new, so that's why it's going to be a little unscientific. But everything on the internet points to a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack in the original 2018s. With 73 kilowatt hours usable. We're basically going to drive from 100% right down to beyond zero. We're going to drive it until it almost dies, but I want to be able to get safely home to plug in. So this one's going to reset when we unplug since last charge. That's the one I'll use, and we will see how much energy it uses. So I always drive in percent, but we'll switch back and forth during the duration of the test. And we're basically going to see how many kilowatt hours are left in this car after 4 years and 135,000 kilometers. So we're going to go until it completely stops charging, get it right full, and go from there. Got some breakfast from McDonald's. Ready to hit the road. Pumped every last little bit of juice that we could into it until it completely stopped charging before heading out. Still at 100%. It's predicting 460 kilometers. We're going to use climate control for a real-world test. Currently at 24 degrees Celsius. It's only 25 outside, so the AC shouldn't have to work too hard, and it's a little overcast now, so the sun isn't beaming into the car. Very little wind. Leaves are barely moving on the trees, so wind shouldn't be an issue for right now anyway. That won't matter for the battery capacity, but it will matter a little bit for range. speed limit on 400 series highways in Ontario is 100. We're gonna do 117. I know this car is always off by 2 kilometers an hour. So setting it at 117, we're gonna do 150. Might get into a little traffic now and then, but I'll try to do 115 as much as I can. I don't think I mentioned it, but this car originally came with 19-inch wheels, the sport wheels. I have aftermarket 20-inch wheels. So we're 20-inch wheels for this test. PSI 45, 46, 47 PSI. I usually run them a little less than that for comfort, but I pumped them up a little bit for the test. It's supposed to be 42. Climate is on 24. Auto, fan is only on 3, so it's pretty slow. Autopilot set, so we're just following the speed of the car ahead of us. Almost got sideswiped by a Suburban here driving in the hammer lane with a trailer. So I'm gonna eat my breakfast and just drive along here, and I will check in when we get down to about 75%. So for the first 30 kilometers, we were at a pretty steady 115 kilometers per hour, but we're into a little bit of traffic now. This is the cottage country traffic heading back to the city, southbound. Heading from Muskoka, etc., back to the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. We got a big coal rolling Dodge up ahead of us here. Just chooching it out the tailpipe and the wallet. Oh great, now we're gonna be right behind him. He's gonna see a Tesla behind him and he's gonna think that he's all cool. Gotta love it. Oh, look at that, he's only got one brake light. Can't afford a new brake light when you have to spend all your money on fuel. So we got a little bit of traffic here, as you see on the map, up until Highway 9, which isn't too far away. And it looks like it's a little more smooth sailing down to the city. I don't see any more red or black. We're gonna turn around. We're gonna go to Finch Avenue here before we get to the mess of the 401 and head back north on the 400 again. 92%. 35 kilometers traveled, 6 kilowatt hours used. Efficiency 171. The newer cars are much more efficient. This car has never been that efficient. I average around, on my daily consumption is 179. Usually with winter in there, winter and summer combined, I'm usually around 185. Just heard on the radio that there's a crash up here, so that's what the problem is, of course. This is where autopilot shines, though. Let it do the stop and go for you. I don't have to do anything. It never used to be good at this, in my opinion. It was too herky-jerky, but seems to be better now. Drives more like I would drive. And all of a sudden we're starting to move, and I don't see an accident anywhere. Typical, no idea. Maybe they just got it cleaned up and got it off the road. This is where it was. Just had to pull out autopilot there to miss the mess on the road. So that's what a 20-minute traffic jam was for, a little bit of kitty litter on the road. 39 kilometers, 7 kilowatt hours used, efficiency 180 watt hours per kilometer. Approaching our first turnaround point, Finch Avenue in Toronto, and then we are going to head back north again for a little smoother sailing, I hope. 82%, 375 on the guessometer. We've traveled 71 kilometers, used 12 kilowatt hours of energy, 174 watt hour per kilometer. Hopefully we can stay at our target speed a little bit more on the return here. I'll check back in at 75%. We're 6% away. And you can probably start extrapolating from that 75% what the results are going to be, but keep in mind that we're going to drive down below 0%. Approaching 75% here momentarily. 75%. So 90 kilometers, 16 kilowatt hours used. It still says we have 346 left. That's why you can never trust the guessometer. Just drive in percent, because this is never going to be right. Not in a Tesla anyway. Some other cars are more accurate. 26 degrees, overcast. Still don't see the trees moving around. Oh, yeah, I guess we got leaves are blowing a little bit. We might be into a headwind now. Not crazy windy though. Welcome back to the show, kids. Should be hitting 50% state of charge any second here. Bam, 50%. Let's see where we're at. 185 kilometers, 32 kilowatt hours used. And once again, so what are we at here? So 187 kilometers, so let's just round up to 200. We're probably going to get 400 kilometers out of this car, maybe a little more. It originally said we were going to get 460, I do believe, so 60 kilometer difference in the original guess. Right now it's still saying we're going to get 230, which is right on with the original guess at 100% was 460, so take that with a grain of salt. Very interesting. Coming up on a very popular place here, Weber's or Weber's. Everybody stops here. You can see the line up for burgers. You can even go in the park on the other side of the road and cross the pedestrian bridge. They should be over in the other lane letting people out. But I got people coming up on me on the left. Now this guy probably wants to stop for a burger. Up north here in Muskoka. So I'm gonna put in my home address in here to the navigation, and then the car is gonna give me an estimate of my state of charge. This is how I'm going to know when to turn around and head back home when this gets close to, maybe when this gets to about 5 or 4%, I will turn around, head back to home, and then I'll use up the last of the battery when I get home, just driving around in circles. But I will check back in when we get down to 25%, I guess. So we're at 37% state of charge. I have the navigation set for home, and right now my turnaround points are getting less and less as we get into the boonies, but if I was to turn around right here, I'm gonna get home with 9%. So I'm gonna wait for a couple more turn-offs. I'm gonna probably turn around when this says I'm gonna arrive back home with 5% or so, give myself a little bit of a buffer to get home, no problem. Currently near, where are we? What is this? Graven Bracebridge. So I've gone from Barrie down to Toronto, turned around, and now we're up in Bracebridge. See what this calculation of 9% goes to after we drive by this turnaround. Okay, we're gonna do the next turnaround. Now estimating that we're gonna arrive back home with 4%, so it's time to turn around.
I'll make a U-turn at Alpine Ranch Road.
Yes, ma'am. So it now says we're going to arrive home with 3%, and then we drive it down till it dies after that. It says we are 100 kilometers away from home. We've driven 246 kilometers, so we're looking at about 350 kilometers there. Nowhere near the 460 that Tesla originally guessed. That's why we don't use the kilometer guessometer, folks. %, check-in time. 272 kilometers traveled, 48 kilowatt hours used, 175 watt hours per kilometer. Car says we're going to arrive home with 3%. Well, that is where we are. This is where we're going. Nice Sunday drive up here in Muskoka. We are down to 10% remaining. We are 23 kilometers away from home. 10%, car predicts 46 kilometers of range left. That's probably actually somewhat accurate now. It might be more accurate at the bottom end. It's not accurate at the top end when the battery's full. But navigation is still predicting 3%. When we get home, we're going to drive past home and just do some driving around, get down below zero. See how many kilowatt hours we can pull out of the pack. 326 kilometers driven, 58 kilowatt hours used, 177 watt hours per kilometer. Well, we're back in Barrie, but we're going to run into some major traffic here, so I'm going to duck on off the highway and just cruise through town because the map is showing some pretty heavy traffic. So not much use staying on the highway. Maybe we'll get onto Bayfield Street here and we can head out on another 2-lane highway outside of town. 6% remaining. Guessometer 27 kilometers. That will be to 0, but we're gonna go beyond 0 because why not? There's actually a 20 stall. Oh, it doesn't show the charger. I guess we have to go there. There's the 20 stall supercharger on Bayfield Street here in Barrie. We have another 8 stalls in the south end at Park Place. But lots of Tesla charging in this town. We have destination chargers down at the waterfront, at the marina, some at Heritage Park, some at the Collier Street Parkade downtown. Tesla seemed to love this city of Barrie when it came to charging infrastructure. But the superchargers are probably for people heading up to their cottage on the weekend. The original 8 stalls in Park Place were starting to fill up on the weekends, so they put the 20 stall in up here. Right now there's 14 available out of 20. So my estimated range to get home just dropped down to 0% from 3, just like that. So we might follow the navigation here and start heading home just to get into a safe area, just in case things go awry. We are at 5% currently, and now it says we're gonna get there with 1%. So it's constantly recalculating what we're gonna have on arrival. It's always been pretty accurate on road trips. I don't get too worried about if it says we're gonna get home with 2 or 3%. I don't worry at all. Even in the winter time, it seems to be pretty accurate. When you start to worry past 0 is, so here's your power going up and then your regen going back into the battery. This line will start getting dotted on both sides as the power gets reduced. So the closer the dots get to the center, you know you're nearing the end. So we're 347 kilometers. Remember that Tesla initially said 460, so they were wrong by pretty much 100 kilometers. So that's why you should always have your range in percent, because the kilometer guess in a Tesla means nothing. 61 kilowatt hours used so far. We still have 5%, so we'll see what we get out of the pack. That was originally supposed to be 73 kilowatt hours usable. So at 3 3%, we get the big scary message on the screen, plan your next charge. You are almost too far from known charging locations. So you can click show chargers, shows the 2 superchargers that are in town here, the only ones that you can make. 3%, 15 kilometers remaining according to the guessometer. Man, this 3% is going to take forever to get rid of. Oh, there we go, 2%. Still at 25 degrees Celsius outside. Climate is at 23. I haven't turned it off. So the temperature has pretty much remained steady all day. There's very little wind. The trees aren't moving around at all. So that's good for the test. Wind wasn't really a factor. I think I had a little bit of a headwind for a little while. There's 1%. Don't have any dots appearing on either end of the power bar yet. Oh, plan your next charge. All known charging locations will be out of range soon. There we go, 0%. So let's see what the car tells us. There's the 64 kilowatt hours. So if we go by 0%, 64 kilowatt hours, 365 kilometers, 95 kilometers less than the original guess before we left. Tesla's guessometer sucks. But we have to drive it down until we know we are almost out of juice to get a proper kilowatt hour remaining. So we might get 65, 66, which is pretty good, I guess. No dots at either end of the power bar yet. So we're up to 65 kilowatt hours used. So at the worst, we've lost 8 kilowatt hours from original, and that's assuming that this pack was originally 73 kilowatt hours usable. That's what the internets say. 375 kilometers. Let's do a 60 to 90 here. 60 kilometers. Nobody behind us. And let's go to 90. And there we go. We finally got some dots. Reduced power. Don't know if you can see it, but we got 5 or 6 dots. The closer that gets to the center, that means we are actually out of electrons. Like I said, the newer cars are more efficient. They've obviously done stuff with the battery pack and the motors, because I have a friend with a Model Y, bigger, heavier car, and he gets better efficiency than I do with a brand new car. So, and there's another Tesla. No, wait, she didn't wave. I don't wave unless somebody else waves. 66 kilowatt hours. So you can drive quite a ways on zero in this car. So So when you're on a trip and you see you're only going to have 5%, 3%, 2% at your destination, wouldn't worry too much. 386 kilometers. 66 kilowatt hours used, 171 watt hours per kilometer. Well, I'm gonna call it a day here soon. The power meter's creeped in, not quite halfway yet. There we go, we just hit 67 kilowatt hours, so... Oh, there we go, unable to drive, battery charge level too low. I think that's a good reason to get home. And the power bar is really creeping in fast, and I have the accelerator down pretty good, and I'm having trouble getting up this hill. I'm only a couple blocks away from home, so that'll be it. 67 kilowatt hours, 391 kilometers. And we're gonna head home. So let's wrap this video up. 392 kilometers, let's say 395. 67 kilowatt hours, and we've been driving for a little bit on that, so I'm gonna give them, we still have half the power bar left, so I'm gonna give it 68. Let's give Tesla the benefit of the doubt. So after 4 years and 135,000 kilometers, we've only lost about 5 kilowatt hours out of 73. Not bad. I'll put the percentages, all the numbers up at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. It's been a long day. But yeah, not too many people will drive their car down this far for the sake of science. But there you go. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video with all your anti-EV friends that think batteries only last a couple years in electric cars, you know. We've heard all the stories, haven't we?